So welcome back to another episode, and I can honestly say that I'm really excited to come in here and do this episode today. This is a personal one for myself, for my passion, for this one particular series, and I absolutely love it. And a brand new game in the series has been released. So I'm going to talk about the new game, I'm going to talk about the history and show some of the older games, and that is for a series called The Ninja Warriors. It was an arcade game that came out in 1987. What was amazing about this game was it was 3 screens long. So it was this ultra widescreen game. It was a side view beat 'em up style of game where you're a ninja warrior. I gotta explain the backstory here. You're created by the Resistance to overthrow an evil dictator called Banglar. And you've been assembled by this legendary guy called Mulk, and we'll get to that guy in a second, to destroy the dictator and fight wave after wave of army guards as they come running at you from both sides, and you got to take them out with shurikens and you're cutting knives. And the very first time I saw this game, I was absolutely blown away. And I still, here's the thing. The first game is still on, it's on the PSN network, the PlayStation network. Go and get it. It's like $14. You got to check this out. The graphics still hold up to this day, and the music was created by an in-team band called Zuntata. And oh my god, they're amazing. And they created an amazing song called Daddy Mulk. That's the opening song for the first level of the arcade game. Hence the name of the Resistance leader called Mulk. The song is called Daddy Mulk. I don't know. Very strange stuff, but very cool. And I always went to the arcade and would play this thing, and I marveled. And I was never able to get a home console version until years later. And I'm just going to show the box of this one because I can't record the footage. Here it is. Here's a Commodore version of the game, and it's rough looking. It doesn't look anything like the arcade version. And then on the PC Engine, they got another port conversion, and that's right here. The Ninja Warriors on the PC Engine. This was not the best way to play this game. It looks very rough, but I'll be honest with you, in the early days of the PC Engine, I was very happy to have it. I was happy to get any version of the Ninja Warriors at home and to play it, and I thought it was great. And in the PC Engine version, you can change the colors of the ninjas in there to all sorts of different colors. So that was something kind of unique to the PC Engine version. The best version, until obviously the PSN version, was this. The Ninja Warriors on the Sega CD, the Mega CD. This was the premier way to play this game back in the day on your Sega CD. This is Japanese only. It was awesome. I thought the graphics were very detailed. I thought they did a really good job, and it retains the arcade music perfectly. So for me at that time, the perfect port. So this the PSN version has made these kind of redundant now, but it's still a really cool collectible to own. So that was the initial run of the Ninja Warriors, that arcade game and those ports. That was 1987, as I say. Then, in 1994, something wonderful happened, and I kind of was scratching my head. I'm like, really? Like, am I going to like this game? Because it lacked a lot of what made the original so good. They made the Ninja Warriors again. Here we go. And for some reason, I have 2 copies of it. Actually, there's no physical copy. I just have an empty box. But I have this version here that has the game in it. I had my reservations because what made the Ninja Warriors great to me was the 3-screened arcade and the music by Zuntata. So going into this game, I'm like, can this deliver? It delivered an amazing Super Nintendo experience. And I was blown away with what they did with it. Yes, it didn't have the 3 screens, but the game didn't need it. It's a side view beat 'em up again. What I like about this game is in the original game, it was very simplistic. You could just, jump and use your knives and throw shurikens. That was the end of it. Where this game, for once, you got three android ninjas with all different moves. And what was great is you can grab people, you can grapple them, you can throw them up, you can throw them to the side, you can throw them into enemies. There's a lot of play mechanics in here, and that's why this game shines so brightly. It's all about the gameplay, and it's really a lot of fun. It's up there as a top 10 game on the Super Nintendo, 100%. And the graphics were really beautiful. And yes, we weren't getting the same soundtrack, but the soundtrack is really good. And I've seen some people bash the soundtrack and say, oh, it's not as good as the original. It's not as good, but it's different. And I think what they did with the Super Nintendo sound chip and this soundtrack, oh my god. I've been listening to it all week. I've been in a bit of a Ninja Warriors mode. Because that was 1994. In 2019, we get this right here. The Ninja Warriors once again. But this time it has been renamed. It's the Ninja Saviors, the Return of the Warriors. And I think that's because of some licensing to do with the term the Ninja Warriors. I think some TV show has it. Or, you know, it's being used anyways. So that's why they can't do what they did in the early 90s and just say the Ninja Warriors and it was okay. Now they had to change the name, and that's okay. What's the deal with this game? At this point, it's import only. I got it on the Nintendo Switch. It's also on the PS4 for Japan. I do believe it's coming out over here eventually. I don't know a date for that. There was also a strictly limited version of the game. There were some special editions released for it. I did snag them. I'm a huge Ninja Warriors fan. I don't know when exactly they'll be out. A few months away, probably when the European version is officially released. So I've been playing this. What is this? Is this a sequel? What is it exactly? It's a reimagining of this game here, the Ninja Warriors on the Super Nintendo, Super Famicom. They've added 2 new robots, so we have 5. You have to unlock them. So you have to beat the game on normal, then on hard, and you unlock the new androids. It's widescreen. It's got a reimagined soundtrack. And it's really good. It's really good. It builds on the original. And they do something else that's really cool in here. You can use the soundtrack. You can unlock it. The soundtrack to the original 1987 arcade game in this reimagining, remaster of the Ninja Warriors again. Yeah, so this is a really great version. I've been playing it all week. I'm just trying to unlock the last android. I'm almost at that final level to do that. What do I think? I've had more fun playing this game this week than I've had playing a lot of modern games in recent times. It takes me back to why I love the Super Nintendo and why the gameplay in the Ninja Warriors is so incredible. It is so much fun. It's so addicting. Yeah, you're fighting wave after wave of enemies, but in the Super Nintendo and in this version, it's the gameplay. There's so many ways to attack your opponents. You have a special move that you can set off. You have multiple moves where you can jump off your opponents. You can throw your opponents into other opponents. The gameplay is so much fun and addicting. So I don't mind fighting wave after wave of enemies. I like all the different androids in here. And there's something else that I really want to mention just about the Ninja Warrior series in general. It's a pure coincidence, I know, but there was this anime I used to watch in 1989. It got released in 1987. It was an OVA, original video animation, called Black Magic M66 by Shiro Mazumune. And I love this guy's stuff. And he made this anime and the manga, and it got translated into an anime. And it was awesome. And it was these military androids that are programmed to kill one person, and they have to fight wave after wave of military guards after military guards. And then if they blow up in the end, they explode. They self-explode and blow everything up around them. That's exactly like the Ninja Warriors. And I'm sure it's a pure coincidence that those kind of mechanics are there. I gotta say, the interesting thing also about the Ninja Warriors, once again here, is that some of the things in the Super Nintendo version that were omitted, they had female characters in here. When they brought it over to America, they got rid of them. They're in the Super Famicom version. They're female characters. They're back. They're back in this version of the game. So equal rights for everybody. We can beat up men. We can beat up women. We can beat up androids. And yeah, other crazy things than that. Another novelty of this game is it's 2 players. So 2 Ninja Warriors can finally get together. You could do that in the original arcade game. You could not do that in the Super Famicom game. You can do that in this version. And it's wonderful. I gotta say, what a good time playing that game all week. Loving it. Now, I just want to show a few other Ninja Warrior items that I have to show how much I love this series. Years ago, I bought the CD soundtrack, and there's some other music on there from some other arcade games, but it was the Ninja Warriors that I absolutely love. And the funny thing is I remember back in the day, my friend Rob would come up to my little apartment up the road, and I'd have Daddy Milk playing on repeat over and over from the arcade version, and he would laugh at it. He's like, brand new from Zentata Radio comes Daddy Milk once again. And he was always laughing because I just played it over and over and over and over again. I think it was one of the first songs I ever downloaded over the internet. I typed in, what was it, that LimeWire? I typed in Daddy Milk and it showed up. It took 3 hours or some ridiculous thing to download over a 56K modem. But when I got it, I got my money's worth, which was nothing. I listened to that song over and over and over again. Now, for Christmas last year, Rob bought me something truly remarkable that shocked me, to be honest with you. The Ninja Warriors on vinyl. So it's the same soundtrack as this, but the vinyl version. I mean, I couldn't believe that he was able to find such a thing. And I just got to say, look at the old school anime artwork on there. It's so rudimentary and wonderful. Just absolutely love it. Now, here's the shocking thing. I got something shocking to show you. I just kind of got back into art a while ago, and I just decided to do, because I got so enthused, some Ninja Warriors artwork. This is all by hand. I hand drew it out in pencil, and then I inked it, and then I colored it with Copic markers, and I had a really good time with that. And I'm planning on selling some of my artwork in the future. This is going to be one of the items that I'm going to sell in there. I love the Ninja Warriors, and I don't know if you've noticed something that I've been wearing this entire time, which is really, really funny. I bought this shirt 10 years ago. There used to be a site I used to go to, and I can't remember the URL for it now at all. And they had these really hard to find, really specialty shirts that were so unique. And we live in a time now where there's so many websites that buy t-shirts and all that. I don't even know if this site exists anymore. But they were selling this, and I'm gonna step forward, this limited Ninja Warriors shirt, almost in a very old style folklore Japanese style, but it's the ninja, the ninja here, and it's one of the guys from one of the creatures from the first game. And I thought it was so novelty and so cool, and I never wear it. And I was digging out my closet and I found it. I'm like, we're doing a Ninja Warriors episode and we're wearing that damn shirt finally. Because these shirts, this shirt was expensive back in the day. I think it was like $50, but I'm like, Ninja Warriors shirt, I gotta get it. So, this was a very selfish episode because I really wanted to come in today and just talk about the Ninja Warriors series. The arcade game in '87, the Super Nintendo Super Famicom game in 1994, and then the brand new game that's just come out. And let me say this, I highly recommend picking up the new game. It is so worth it, and it's so much fun. There's so many difficulty levels. There's a few different ways to play it. You can unlock different characters. Highly recommend it. I must admit, the new characters are a little bit weird, or a little bit strange, but I love the Ninja Warriors, and I'm so happy it is back once again. So anyways, guys, until next time.